is what it is, but it's false. Ultimately, one of the biggest issues I've had growing up, because I didn't have a father, I grew up very emotional. I grew up in that society where they're like, it's okay for boys to cry and men to cry and men should cry more. And I was like, oh, is it? Are you going to like me more? And I'd do that around certain women and they'd be like, ooh, you know, or actually most of the women I ever did that around were like, ooh, like, what are you doing? So I still have stuff that I have residual remnants of the liberal teachings inside of me, and one of the biggest ones is I get moved emotionally pretty easily, so you'll see like the tears and all that. So I'm working on the stoic.
But let's be honest, men do cry.
Of course we do,
but no one sees that.
No, unless it's a sporting event.
Yeah,
or maybe the birth of your kid. Yes. I say maybe because sometimes you're like, all right, I got to make sure he doesn't die. You know,
that's too stressful.
But here's the thing that gets me, and I was saying this like 15, 20 years ago. They say the problem is they want men to show emotions like women show emotion. That's not how we do it.
Yes.
We'll sit here and you be going through a tough time and I'll sit next to you. You all right? Yeah, you know, it sucks this and that. You'll talk a little bit. I'm like, all right, you know, put my hand on your shoulder.
That's it.
Or how do you want to fix it? And then you tell me when we're going to put a hand on your shoulder, and that's it. And then we go do the thing, right? We don't sit there and like share bonbons and just weep it out. And then that's not. We got stuff to do. Like, and if I'm gonna cry, I'm gonna be in the room, be like, I'm not gonna sit there and just weep in front of you because that's not what you're there for.
Don't do that.
What we connect is there to help to figure the thing out.
Yes.
Like, man, what can I do? I don't know what to do, man. I'm freaking out. Like, she's gonna leave me, bro. Like, what do you think I should do? Not just, she's going to leave me, here's some more popcorn or what. No, that's not how we get stuff done. That's not how our mind works. You know?
Or we can just, coming home, we can sit in a car for 5 minutes and just like, when no one sees it, and let's go.
Like, all right, I got to get back to work. Yeah.
That's it. That's how we do it.
And I will deal with that later too, because that definitely is on the plate. I got to get to that. But right now, I got to be the one to go in there and take care of the things I need to take care of. That is what it's supposed to be. They try to get us to be like them.
They're saying follow your heart. But you know what men will never understand a lot of things about women.
No.
But women will never understand a few things about men as well.
Yeah.
Women will never understand what it is like to have a family and to be responsible for them just for physical safety. Mm-hmm. Once I get out of the house, I was like, okay, so these two persons, I have to look after them. Like, yes. Who's he? Is he not too close to them? No. Oh, good. Like this.
Never.
Okay, in a store, go behind me. I'm gonna go in front of you. This way.
Dude.
It's so difficult.
Dude, it's so funny. I've gotten into so many frustrating discussions with my wife about this. Because she grew up as, only child, and she grew up kind of doing her own thing, traveling on her own, all this stuff. When we first started dating, we go out for walks with my dog, or we go out to places I'm walking. I'm like, yeah, so, and I turn back to talk to her, and she's like back there. And I'm like,
no.
I'm like, girl, you need to be right here, like right here. Why? Because if somebody tries to grab you, like, I'm not trying, I got a bad knee. I can't catch up to you over there before something bad happens. And I keep telling her, I've told her over, I think now that we have Xavier, she's starting to kind of get it now. I'm like, the thing you don't understand is it's not be close to me because like I'm insecure or whatever. It's be close to me so in case something happens, I don't need to go over there. We had this like homeless guy who I was walking my dog and her, and it was early when we started seeing each other. This homeless guy came. He was walking behind us for a good ways away, but he was there, and like had like there was a can of goods right there. He picked it up and he slammed it on the ground, right? And I'm walking. I'm still being calm, and I see him. I'm like, all right, if something happens, start moving. I'm gonna do this and that. I'm gonna work this guy out, right? But I'm not gonna he's not gonna be the one to throw me off me right now, like my peace. Like, no, people going like this is part of what they want to do. Is you go like, nah, bro, I'm chilling. What's up? So then my girl, Shara goes, she starts walking up further ahead. And then there's like two girls who are coming out of McDonald's. She's like, no, go back inside. And they look over and then go, and she's just taking off. And I'm walking, chilling. I'm thinking, somebody mess with you right now. And at this point, I'm not trying to give him that. So I'm just like calmly thinking, she's walking. I get up to her and I go, so if somebody grabbed you, you've walked so far away from me. What do you think, like, what's the time between them harming you seriously and me getting to you? Because you think the way you're moving is the safest way right now. The only person on the street that cares about you is me, and you're walking away from me.
Bingo.
Like, think about that. You're moving away from the only one who is willingly chose to protect you and watch your back. Nobody else here has to. No one else also made a commitment to.
Yes.
So you don't, like, I even told her, I was like, man, if I thought emotionally like you, I'd be dead, a few times. Like, if we thought like women, like, this is what we've seen men struggle because they're thinking like women, they're dying in where they're supposed to go. And so I'm like, yo, you guys got to remember, look, if somebody came and messed with you, you ain't crying to, your girl on the phone. You're not crying to the guy, some random guy you see in a corner. You're coming to me because you know that I've taken on the responsibility to protect you. Honor that. And I think that's on us to tell them, look, you don't understand it, but honor that this is my duty. And in that job, much like working security for so-and-so, I can't be a good guard if you're over here. And if you don't understand that that's where I'm at, we're going to have trouble because you're going to then react off your own fear. And then I'm going to be like, and what do predators do? They don't come after the strong.
Yes.
They go after the weak and alone and the separate.
Yes.
So we got to I think also men have to just get back into telling it like it is and stop being apologetic for it because those women, again, women have access to sex. We have access to relationships. Women want to be in relationships, not in sex ships, right? They want to be in a relationship. So if men start to understand that power, most of these games we see out there would go away in a couple months, if not a year. Of just like, nah, man, we're not doing that anymore.
And it's viable in all aspects of life. For instance, we go to a restaurant or to a cafe. I have to sit and watch the door. The entrance.
Yeah, you can't have your back to the door.
Yeah, no chance.
That's crazy.
So when we go on a walk, my wife is always like, "Why are you going behind me?" Because you're going in front of you. The sun goes right next to you.
Yeah.
I see everything that comes by. Whether he grabs your purse, he touches my kid with the elbow or something. I
You're
know.
right there.
I'm right there.
Yep.
I can't get you behind me. I see nothing. They don't understand.
I gotta wait to see it.
Yeah.
I even told her when you're walking and you're crossing the street, and let's say the house, if you get across the street, there's a street this way. If you look over, you see a guy. Like, walk fast because you don't know as you go there, and now you've lost the view of that around the corner. If he ran up, you don't have no idea.
Yeah,
and we're seeing videos of women walking by guys, and all of a sudden he jumps on her back.
Yes,
and they're not strong enough to react to that. So one that was beautiful because I showed you my dog, right? Great Dane, German Shepherd mix, Gus, and then I have Ginger, who's a pit. And now what I love, my wife's when she's pushing the stroller. I'm literally behind her with these two dogs that end up flanking her, and I'm just like, I wish someone would right now. I dare you. It's like, and Gus, he's still a puppy, but he's a big puppy. He's doing something that my previous pit bull I had was a male pit bull, and he did this with my ex-girl I was with, and Gus starting to growl at people across the street when it's just him and my wife. And I'm like, yes, good. If I'm not around, no one needs to ask her for nothing. No one needs to ask her any questions. No guy needs to be like, what's the directions? No, look on your phone. And Gus right now is already like, and barking at men and stuff. I'm like, there you go. I'm like, that's why we're keeping your testicles, like we're not cutting it off.
So in regards, you're saying that once your wife started study Bible, she kind of flourished, right?
Yeah.
It's so interesting that once you realize that you can let go some stuff that you don't need that was imposed to you by the society, propaganda, all that stuff, and once you realize the things that you always wanted to do, it's so much easier to live. It's kind of a manual, like, you want to do this? That is correct. You don't have to listen to those idiots.
Yeah.
The 45-year-olds, single,
angry, right? Angry. Here's I can drink in the morning and then masturbate and then drink at Chelsea Handler.
That's a life.
That's like what? And she's looking more and more miserable as time goes on.
No one's gonna watch when she's 60.
No, and it's gonna be a cautionary tale. And that's why I think like the truth can turn things around quicker than the lie can dissolve it, right? The lie took at least 60 to 80 years to dissolve what was great about a lot of what's great about this country. The truth we're seeing coming back, where I'm talking to 21, 22-year-old boys who are or young men who are like, man, not anymore. I can do this. I'm actually looking for a wife. I'm looking for something strong. I'm like, yeah, bro. Like, and it's up to us now. We're that generation. You're doing the show here. I'm going out and talking to people, doing your show. where those young men are they're looking for that answer. They're looking for that, apprenticeship that used to be so normal up until 1955 or 1960 across the world. Now we're bringing it back with your Jordan Petersons, your Dennis Prager, this conversation, Bryce Eddy, all that. We're bringing that back because these young men are starving for that direction, So I think, look, I'm really hopeful for what's going to happen. I think that once Trump wins, that's going to give even more permission for men to stand up and be men. And ultimately, in the long run, these women are going to be happier. There's going to be a lot of younger women who I believe they're getting off that feminist train because they're watching them be replaced by men who are playing women. In cosplay of women. Literally. And so they're starting to get to the point where, look, you can have a lot of the amenities that America offers and more security in a marriage, more in a committed relationship. And it goes and takes you to another level. And then even more when you actually have a family. Like I said to Shar all the time, I go, now for the rest of your life, you have at least 2 men who will always have your back. At least.
And that is correct.
Period. Just like your wife. And if we have another son, now you have 3 men that will have your back for the rest of your life. So it's we need to bring back that joy, sell that joy of what family is. Sell it, man. It's a good thing.